Welcome to Kaumudi Global. Kerala was shocked to hear a saddening news from the UK, where a Malayali nurse and her two children were murdered in Britain's Kettering. As it was a news of murder, people were searching all around the internet world about how and why Malayali nurse Anju Ashok, aged 35, and her little ones Jeeva, aged 6, and Janvi, aged 4, were killed by someone. It is not someone. Reports are giving some shocking updates on this. It was shock for everybody in Ithipura because Ashok always told us that he had a caring son-in-law, and we thought his hard days were over. It is all about Anju's husband Saju, aged 52, who strangled his own wife and children to death. Padiyur village of Kannur Irkur was shocked by the brutality of Saju to Anju. The preliminary investigation report of the police said that Saju killed his wife and children in a very brutal manner at their house in Britain. Saju killed Anju by suffocating her with a pillow, and her children were stabbed. After the post-mortem process of Anju was completed, it became clear that she was killed by suffocating. Children Jeeva and Janvi have deep cuts on their necks. Both of them were found in a pool of blood. Both were alive when the police arrived there. Saju was watching nearby even when his children were struggling for coming back to life. Both kids were taken to the police hospital in critical condition but died within hours. The bodies of Anju and her children were in 2 rooms. According to the police, after killing Anju, Saju killed his children who were in another room. The Northamptonshire police in Britain have recorded the arrest of her husband, Saju, a native of Irgur Padiyur, in the incident. Also, reason for the murder is coming up. Police are going to question him further for this same reason. The information provided by the relatives is that they came to Britain 6 months ago and had huge financial obligations. Especially, Saju had severe anger and depression issues. It was further proved as deceased Anju's father, Ashok, told media that Saju had anger issues. He used to get violent for even small issues, while on video calls we could see that Anju was never pleasant. After the death of Saju's father when they were young, the family of 6 sisters lived in the shadow of Saju. He was a taxi driver for many years in Bangalore and Ernakulam due to some financial hardships. Saju and Anju got married 10 years ago. After marriage, Saju and Anju stayed in Saudi Arabia for a few years. Anju, who was a nurse in Saudi, went to Britain a year and a half ago. Anju was working as a nurse in the Kettering hospital there. The last time he came to the country was last June. She took Saju and her children to Britain, thinking that her husband Saju could also get a job there and a more happy, contented life. But Saju, who had to undergo leg surgery in Britain, was unable to get a job there and suffered mental hardships. 2 days before the murder, Saju had told his sister about this jobless life, depression, when he called her home in Padiyur. Anju, a native of Kottayam, Vaikam, lived in Irkur Padiyur after her marriage with Saju. Presently, their mother-in-law and sister lives there. Padiyur locals have only good things to say about Saju and Anju, who have been abroad for a long time. Every Padiyur residents asked why. Why Saju, who used to treat everyone gently when he came to the country, did this to his own wife and children. Meanwhile, efforts are on to bring the mortal remains of the 3 deceased to Kerala. After completing the post-mortem procedures, bodies of Anju and her children will be brought to Kottayam. The funeral will be held in the evening. The incident happened at Kettering in Northamptonshire. It is likely that the release of the bodies will take weeks, as police and court-related procedures for unnatural deaths, including murders and suicide, are lengthy in the UK. Anju and her children were found with serious, brutal injuries in their house at Petherton Court in Kettering, around 140 km from London. The crime was reported at 11:15 am on Thursday, which is around 4:45 pm Indian time. Padiyur residents and even whole Kerala is shocked. Why did a man do this act? It is unbelievable. Anju and her children had dreams of good life, even with Saju. Wife Anju worked hard for freeing her husband Saju from tensions and jobless life. Kids were also loving their father. Saju, how could you do this? When will you yourself could forgive you? I'm Shreya signing off. If you like the video, please subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. If you want to send us any news or feedback, please send it us on kaumudiglobal@gmail.com.